Broncos. Super Bowl 50 is right around the corner, and we're about to break this thing down. Nick Walters here for Quench Sports, prepping you for the finale of this 2015 season. February the 7th will mark the 50th edition of the biggest and greatest sporting event America has ever known. And boy, we have a mighty good one on our hands. The AFC's Denver Broncos are facing the NFC's Carolina Panthers. Two number one seeds, two acclaimed quarterbacks, two monster defenses, but only one can come away with the Lombardi Trophy.
Despite these team similarities, their journeys to this point have been near polar opposites. The Broncos have clearly been a team shadowed by the media after the so-called benching of Peyton Manning following his foot injury and lackluster performance up to that point. Peyton's replacement Brock Osweiler thrived in head coach Gary Kubiak's system, highlighted by defeating the then undefeated New England Patriots in Week 12. But through success and failure on the offensive side, Wade Phillips' thrilling defense has remained a constant. This highly elite unit has been forcing turnovers left and right through the course of this season, possibly peaking last week against Tom Brady's Patriots. After Peyton Manning's reemergence into the starting lineup in the divisional round, the Broncos' offense has portrayed consistent formidability. This Broncos team goes into the Super Bowl with high hopes that this offensive momentum and defensive dominance will continue in Santa Clara.
On the other sideline, we have the NFL's premier team, the best the league has to offer, the shocker of the year, fueled by disrespect since August, and ran like a well-oiled machine by its stud quarterback, the Carolina Panthers.
Since the beginning of the season, despite the loss of number one receiver Kelvin Benjamin, this Panthers team has blown away its competition en route to the NFL's best regular season record, 15-1. Through whatever competition thrown his way, the league's likely MVP Cam Newton has shown out. Whether it's using his wheels or his huge arm, the man has almost single-handedly picked apart the best of defenses. Speaking of defenses, let's talk about Carolina's. Led by middle linebacker Luke Kuechly and veteran Thomas Davis, this defense has been nearly impenetrable all season long. Carolina is riding high on its horse after obliterating the Cardinals 42-15 in the NFC Championship game. They're hoping to head from Charlotte to the West Coast and maintain their victorious pride in year-long success.
But let's see how these teams match up across the board. We're going to pop through these by position. Let's kick it off by, of course, quarterback. This one's pretty easy. Is Peyton Manning absolutely Canton material and going into this game touting an illustrious career and sensational reputation? Yes, of course. But Cam Newton gets the nod here.
Cam's ability to put the defenses in conflict with his far improved passing ability and his running ability creates innumerous options for Ron Rivera. Read option, sure. QB draw, go ahead. Play action pass, yup. And on any play he's in, his scrambling ability can make big things happen. Peyton's game simply does not have that flexibility. Next up is running back. This one is going to Carolina. Jonathan Stewart and Mike Tolbert aren't going to just make your jaw drop by their raw skill, but their ability to maneuver through space created by Cam Newton's presence has been evident all year long. Give them space on read options, draw plays, or screens while defenses key on Cam, and these running backs can quietly kill a defense. Next up, receivers. Although Greg Olsen, Ted Ginn, and others have escalated to new heights this year, this is going to Denver. People tend to forget this due to the attention on the quarterback controversy, but the Broncos tout some of the best playmakers in the whole league. Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, and the rotating door of tight ends between Vernon Davis, Owen Daniels, and Virgil Green make up a fear-inducing unit. In multiple ways and fashions, this receiving corps can make Peyton Manning's job a lot easier. And as he's aging and his arm has been losing strength, this is a crucial benefit for this offense. These weapons on the outside can keep defenses honest and not walk down safeties while Kubiak's zone scheme offense pounds the rock. Now to cap off the offensive side, we gotta compare offensive lines. Both units have endured harsh criticism through the offseason and the year, but as an O-line that has gelled far better than anyone had thought, this one's going to Carolina. Besides the reliable stud center Ryan Khalil, doubt has spread regarding the Panther protection program ever since August. But question marks like Michael Oher at left tackle have been cleared up, and this O-line has made life easier for Cam. The Broncos line has impressed, especially due to the acquisition of guard Evan Mathis from the Eagles, but they're just not on Carolina's level.
Now it's defense time. This is on track to be a head-to-head collision of elite defenses. But in the biggest game in football, the tiniest details are going to decide this thing. Let's start it off with in the trenches. D-line and pass rushers. Who's got the best? Although Carolina has the star defensive tackle Quan Short and others on their D-line, this is undoubtedly going to the Denver Broncos.
The Broncos tout the undoubted best pass rushing unit in the league, with no scarier combo than outside linebackers Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware, accompanied by Malik Jackson and company holding on the fort inside. It's a nightmare scenario for offenses. This has created havoc for all opposing offenses all year round, making the Orange Crush's defense simply better. Next up is in the inside linebackers. This is when it gets tricky. Both teams tout an elite linebacker. The Panthers' Luke Kuechly has excelled his entire career and is one of the premier players in the whole league. On the other hand, the Broncos' Brandon Marshall is one of the best linebackers in the league and has the unique speed and quickness to keep up with the mobile quarterbacks like Cam while being a strong presence in pass coverage. Now here's the thing. The Panthers have the multi-talented veteran linebacker Thomas Davis. This lethal pair of linebackers would automatically put the Panthers ahead, but in the AFC Championship, Davis broke his arm. He had surgery the very next morning and vows to play in the Super Bowl. His practice time and preparation will be affected along with some pain in the game, but his presence would put Carolina's unit above the top. And now onto the even tougher comparison, the secondary. Both defenses are peppered with studs in the back end, but this advantage is going to Denver. I do realize the Panthers have possibly the best cornerback in the entire league right now, Josh Norman. But after losing Charles Tillman to injury, the cornerback position got a bit thinner. Meanwhile in Denver, this secondary is just ridiculous. Chris Harris Jr., Aqib Talib, TJ Ward, Darian Stewart, and Bradley Roby all together make possibly the best secondary in the whole league. The turnovers they create and the lack of separation they give receivers is seen week in and week out. Each and every player makes a huge contribution. This was clearly evident when they limited the Patriots' renowned offense all game long in the conference championship. Both secondaries are fantastic, but the Broncos are just too good in that aspect.
Now to finish off this team-to-team comparison, we gotta cap it off with special teams. The edge is going to Denver in this one.
Don't get me wrong here, nothing's wrong with Graham Gano for the Panthers, but Brandon McManus is slightly better. He has remained consistent through the season and has a slightly better field goal percentage for the year compared to Gano. In the punting game, punters Britton Colquitt and Brad Nortman are about dead even. Neither are sensational, meaning that overall in the sometimes vital aspect of special teams, the Broncos have the slight edge.
There you have it. After all the position-by-position breakdown, it's prediction time. In my eyes, I have not seen a Super Bowl this evenly matched.
If the Peyton Manning we've seen thus far in the playoffs shows up on Super Bowl Sunday, we are in for one hell of a treat. Otherwise, the Panthers might run away with this thing, regardless of how solidified that Broncos D is. When it's all said and done, I say that Peyton Manning will come in and orchestrate this offense with quick adjustments of the line to get Emmanuel Sanders and others in space. Running the ball straight at the teeth of the Panthers D will simply not work, in hand giving the Broncos trouble in their play-action schemes because of predictability. If this offense can mix things up and spread out the Carolina's defense, they can put a considerable number on the scoreboard. On the other end, Cam will have to embody perfection out there against this defense, with Brandon Marshall containing Cam in a brutal, tough, rangy secondary blanketing a so-so set of receivers. Cam will have to use his read option abilities and scrambling abilities to complete effectiveness. With the likes of DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller being perfect for the job containing the outside and read option plays, it may be up to Jonathan Stewart's ability to take the rock in between the tackles and pick up tough yardage. In the passing game, the same pass rush duo will make Cam win from the pocket while his receivers are matched up against a cutthroat secondary. Through my analysis, I believe this Denver defense matches up with Cam's juggernaut offense better than any team in the entire league. With injuries holding back Jared Allen and Thomas Davis, that is if they're even able to go, this Panthers defense seems to be vulnerable.
This is Peyton's last chance at a Super Bowl. His preparation and readiness for this game will be off the charts. The scheme this Broncos offense will draw up will spread out this Panthers defense and put conflict on defenders outside and in. If Peyton is safe with the ball and manages this game the way he has throughout his entire illustrious career, especially off of 2 weeks of rest, This Broncos offense can and will tactfully inch their way forward in this game, keep the score close, and make a few plays late to win this game. My Super Bowl 50 score prediction: Broncos 17, Panthers 16. Another prediction: Peyton Manning rides a Pegasus off into the Californian sunset of retirement with 2 rings in one hand and a chicken parm in the other. No matter how it turns out, it's going to be one for the ages. 50 years of the Super Bowl in the NFL. What a legendary event, and I hope you and the rest of the world can soak in its importance. I think at the end of the day, regardless of Cam Newton's dabs and Peyton Manning's commercials, we can all be thankful for what the NFL gives us each and every year. Enjoy the Super Bowl, the commercials, the halftime performance, but most importantly, the football. For Quench Sports, this is Nick Walters signing out. Quench on.